This is Dimitri Pervolarakis from Argus-Hazco, and I'll be taking you through the use, maintenance, and calibrations necessary to operate your formaldehyde monitor. These are the contents of your case as you receive them. You will receive a manual, a quick reference guide for a handheld device, and as a continuous monitor, your certificate of calibration, your software, your interface cables, your AC/DC adapter, your writing utensil, a thermometer, your calibration standard, and the monitor itself, the Formaldemeter HTV-M. In addition, you'll receive interference filters for phenol. The features of the Enmet Formaldemeter are 4 tactile buttons, sample button, on-off button, 2 calibration buttons, RS-232 port, as well as a USB port and your power, a 9-volt battery that operates the unit in the field, to operate the Formaldemeter, please reference your quick guide and also read your manual completely. I'll take you through the steps in properly using your instrument step by step, first showing you the 2 buttons to push to make sure we know what the temperature is in the environment we're monitoring in, and also the relative humidity. We need those criteria to calibrate the instrument. To do so, we push the S button, which is the sample button, and the power button. The screen will light up and indicate to you what the temperature is, as well as the relative humidity in the room. As you look at the screen, you'll see 22.4 as being the temperature in Celsius and 39.3 being the relative humidity. You could turn the unit off at this time, or within 30 seconds it will turn off itself. Please make note of the temperature because it's very important when we go to calibrate the instrument. We've taken our temperature readings, and this is our calibration standard that we're going to use to calibrate the instrument. And there's a guide here in terms of temperature that we need to now use to calibrate our instrument properly. So from our temperature readings of 22.5, we need to round up to 23. Now if it was below 0.5, say 22.4, we'll need to adjust it down. If we're adjusting it to the temperature of 23, we need to look at our chart, and it tells me in terms of ppm, relative response factor, I have to adjust the unit to 2.49. I will now show you how to calibrate the instrument accordingly. At this point, you want to remove both end caps on the calibration standard, as well as removing the red cap from the instrument. Make sure you squeeze both firmly together. Turn the instrument on. Push calibrate. The instrument will count down 60 seconds. You'll see a series of numbers on the display that'll keep flashing for a period of 60 seconds. Once it stabilizes, you'll see 2.00 staying constant on the screen. At that point, we make the adjustments to equal what's on the calibration standard. In this case, we're calibrating it to 2.49 ppm. Again, it's a relative response factor that we're incorporating into the instrument. We continue to watch it till it stops flashing. Once it stops flashing, it'll say set, and then we make the adjustments on the keys of the instrument to adjust it to the standard, and again, the relative response factor to be 2.49. I raise it up using the up arrow key. As you hold it down, it'll speed up. .49. Once we adjust it to what's on the calibration standard, we push the S key. It's accepted. It says end, and then it turns off automatically. At that point, we can remove the calibration standard. We can actually, once the pump stops, remove the calibration standard, but it's really up to you, whatever you feel most comfortable with. We put that aside, and now we're ready at this point to take a sample out in the field. To take a sample with the handheld device, we first turn the instrument on. It'll be a series of dashes. It will stabilize to let you know it's ready. Once you see the zeros, you can take a sample by pushing the S key. It indicates run, pulls its sample through. There's a series of dashes and zeros that will flash for 10 seconds. And then I'll start to analyze, which is about 60 seconds to complete. As we're taking a sample, all the results are stored in its memory. The memory has a capacity of 1,000 samples, which can be downloaded using the software. You can also use this device as a continuous instrument plugged into AC/DC, and you can set your start and stop times through the software. The dashes will continue to flash until the sample is analyzed, and we have a concentration of 0.05. You can make a note of the concentration, and again, every sample is stored in its memory. To take another sample, you can turn the instrument on. It has to stabilize prior to taking an additional sample for about 2 minutes. Or if you wait 60 seconds, the instrument will turn off automatically. To turn the instrument off, you push the power key. It'll indicate off. 60 seconds later, you can start as we did earlier in the segment to turn the unit on, push the sample button, take your other sample, and the process will be repeated. Thank you. This completes the overview of the formaldehyde monitor. If you have any questions, you can contact me directly at 586-615-9689, or you can contact your UAW safety rep.